sometimes think of regret as an unwanted financial product, like waking up and realizing someone signed you up for a mortgage in 2009 and the interest never stopped accruing. Sometimes it's worse. A car loan with a 400% APR signed in invisible ink by some past version of me, and I don't even know how to drive. We often talk about regret as if it's a single event, a pang of guilt that arrives, hurts, and leaves. But I don't think that's how it works. Regret doesn't stay still. It moves, it grows, it compounds. To explain all this, we're going to talk about regret in the only way it makes little to no sense, mathematically. And along the way, we'll lean on ReLIFE, an anime about a late 20s burnout named Arata Kaizaki who gets a chance to relive high school, reset his choices, and maybe make peace with his regrets. Through him, we meet Chizuru Hishiro, brilliant but socially clueless, and Rena Karyo, hyper-competitive, prone to jealousy, and endlessly stuck, replaying her own mistakes. They're all carrying different kinds of regret, compounding debts, bad investments, and a few rare lessons that actually pay out. Diving straight into some unnecessary math, I like to think of regret as a function of time, RT. At the exact moment of the mistake, t equals 0, there's your initial regret, R0. Maybe it's small, like sending a new to your Japan 2026 group chat, or massive, like the career-ending email you sent after 3 whiskey sours and a misplaced sense of justice. But over time, the size of RT rarely stays equal to R0. In finance, the principal is your initial deposit, the amount that you start with. For regret, R0 is the magnitude of the mistake itself, the size of your original fuck-up. But the funny thing is we're terrible at measuring R0.
貝崎新さん。
はい。
これ新卒で入った会社3ヶ月で辞めちゃってるけど、どうしたのかな。
それは方向性の違いと言いますか、自分を生かせる場はもっと他にあるのではないかと。
たった3ヶ月でわかる。
その決断力と行動力も私の長所だと思っております。
あなたは会社でなんか変わったことねえの？
妹結婚するとか言い出しちゃう。でさ、そいつがゴリゴリの悪で、もう
俺は現状維持って感じかな。何の現状維持だか。
Arata is 27 and still living off part-time jobs, sleepwalking through life. He doesn't even recognize this as regret yet. It's just inertia. Psychologists call this counterfactual thinking, mentally comparing what happened with what could have happened. But that mental math is biased, completely cooked. We inflate certain mistakes because they're vivid and replay easily, while we underweight the quiet, boring failures, like the opportunities we didn't even notice, the jobs we didn't apply for, the people we didn't talk to, the things we never even tried. So right from the start, our R0 is wrong, the ledger's way off. The numbers don't match reality, and the auditor, the part of your brain that keeps books, was tripping balls the whole time. If you've ever replayed a mistake 100 times, you know regret can and usually does get bigger. You can actually map growth like this as an exponential function, with the formula RT equals R0 times e raised to the power KT. Here, E is just a math constant that shows up in anything that grows continuously, so population, mold, your mom's OnlyFans subscribers, and K is your personal rumination rate. If K is small, your regret grows slowly, but if K is large, even a tiny R0 can become overwhelming.
いいよね。優しい幼なじみと毎日一緒で。
カリュウさん。あ、テスト同じ点じゃん。1学期委員長一緒に頑張ろうな。
1年の1学期クラス委員長になって、でも2学期と3学期は1位になれなくて悔しくて、去年はずっとシルバーピン。
カリュウ、委員会行こう。
1年間ずっとシルバーキープしてたのに。なんで？なんで私ばっかり？なんで何もうまくいかないの？嫌だ。こんな自分かっこ悪い。やめて。
Like Karyu's jealousy turns over and over until it's bigger than the mistake itself. Every time you ruminate, turn the mistake over in your mind, it's like reinvesting the interest. The pathways in your brain that hold this regret get stronger. Like adding bricks to a wall you'll eventually walk right into, like polishing a knife you plan to stab yourself with later. Every mental replay strengthens those neural pathways. It's like reinvesting dividends in a shitty stock you should have sold years ago. AMD. And the worst part of it is that the act of trying not to think about it often spikes the rumination rate. It's like telling yourself not to picture Goofy having sex. You're picturing it now, aren't you? You step on me! But thankfully, not all regret grows forever.
いつか離れる日が忘れられちゃう日が来るかもだけど俺はずっと忘れないよ。
はい、私も忘れません。
Arata and Chizuru share a look. The regret's still there, just quieter, like background static. Many regrets actually shrink with time, and the math for that looks similar but with a negative exponent. RT equals R0 times e raised to the power minus lambda t. Here, lambda is the forgetting rate. High lambda people forget quickly, low lambda people hold on for decades. This is why your teenage embarrassment probably doesn't ruin your day anymore, though it might still make a surprise appearance during an otherwise okay moment just to remind you that your forgetting rate is not infinity. Like the time I was at a club in Bangkok and I offered this cute Korean girl an ice cube to chew on. Why did I do that? Chat, is this Riz? Occasionally, regret has a positive return. A mistake teaches you a lesson that prevents 10 bigger mistakes. We can think of this net benefit as delta U, which is minus R0 plus beta L, where L is the value of what you learned and beta is your ability to actually use that lesson. If beta is high, regret is educational. But if beta is low, you just keep touching the stove and wondering why your hand still hurts.
ねえ、あんなに遠いと感じた細い上り坂も夏休みもわずかと思うだろうか大人になってしまったらもう会うこともないだろうと今一生分の言葉を探すおかしい名残はそんなに
はじめまして。ずっとご家族の方に伝言をお願いしておりましたが今日は突然すみません。あなたにある実験にご協力いただけないかと思ってやってきました。今の生活に少しでも違和感を持っているならこの実験であなたはあなた自身をもう一度経験するんです。だからつまりリライフしてみませんか？
This is a great high beta moment. Arata uses lessons from his first failed adult life to guide others through their mess. Same mistakes, new outcome. But humans are uniquely good at suffering in advance, what psychologists call anticipatory regret. We run mental simulations of the future trying to minimize expected regret.
高校生って今さら1年毎日学校とか結構めんどくせえけど
高校生とか面倒だなーって思ったでしょ。1年間高校生になって今の人生を変えられるチャンスだと思うかおじけづいてこのままずるずるニート生活を続けていくかどちらを選ぶかは貝崎さん次第です。
ニートじゃねえし
実際もう辛かったでしょう。会社員のふりをしてお友達と話し合わせるの引き受けていただけるなら契約書にサインをお願いしたいのですが
なんか現実味のない話だけどここまで来たらなるようになるだ。これで1年食いつなげてうまくいけば仕事もゲットやってやろうじゃねえかリライフ。
はい良いリライフにしましょう。
We overthink? hedge our bets and choose the safe option to protect ourselves from future pain. But the irony is that most of this hedging actually increases realized regret because the safe option often comes bundled with a lifetime of what ifs. We buy insurance policies against pain and cash them out exclusively in boredom. Early decisions constrain later ones, which is called path dependence. One choice closes doors, reroutes your trajectory, and creates a cluster of regrets that all trace back to the same moment. Regret becomes recursive. You regret the initial choice, then regret all the choices that it forced you to make, then regret spending your life regretting those choices. It's regret all the way down. A Russian nesting doll of fuck-ups, each one smaller but just as painful, stacked endlessly inside one another. No closed-form solution, no elegant proof, just endless ugly loops of why the fuck did I do that? Maybe this fractal nature of regret is why so many philosophers and writers obsess over it. It's not pain alone, it's structural. It's not just a feeling, it's a whole architecture of suffering we build with our own hands. Eventually, the emotional balance sheet becomes unsustainable. You can't keep servicing the interest, you default, declare that you simply can't pay. But we can also deem it acceptance, not because the regret goes away, but because you start checking the statements. Regret never fully disappears, it approaches zero, like an asymptote, always getting closer but never touching the axis. Maybe the goal isn't to eliminate regret, but to manage your personal variables. Keep your rumination rate low, let your forgetting rate stay above zero, and when possible, maximize your ability to turn pain into learning. You'll never get a clean slate, but maybe you can keep the interest rate humane. And if you can't, well, like any good debtor, you can always change your number and move to a new city. Or desperately hope someone gives you a pill so you can redo your life. Regardless, you'll always keep the smaller regrets. Why did I give her an ice cube, man?